Now let's discuss about another way of representing the numbers, binary numbers, which is one of the method is the BCD, that is binary coded decimal representation, which is the simplest method or way of representing integers. Here a decimal integer using the BCD code, each digit of the integer is represented separately using a 4-bit binary code. That means if you want to represent a number 345, say, in binary coded decimal representation, each digit in the decimal number is represented by a 4-bit binary. So you know that the corresponding binary number for 3 is 1 1. So you are using a 4-bit, it can be represented as 0 0 1 1, and 4 it is 1 0 0. So for using a 4-bit it is 0 1 0 0. 5 is 1 0 1. Using 4-bit it is 0 1 0 1. So it is 3, it is 4, it is 5. So each digit in this decimal number is represented in the binary format using a 4-bit, and this is the BCD representation of 345. And this is the simple way of representing the integers, but it has two main disadvantages. The primary disadvantage of BCD representation over the ones and twos complement representation is that it requires more space, because each digit actually requires 4 bits, but you know that 3 actually when we are converting it into binary it requires only 2 bits, but in the binary coded decimal it requires 4 bits. For 4 also you know that the binary requires only 3 bits, but in BCD it requires 4. So a BCD representation requires too much space. So now if you consider an 16-bit register, the largest number possible to represent using BCD is 111. All the 16 bits are 1. So all these are represent 9. So the maximum or the largest integer that a 16-bit register can represent using BCD representation is that 9999. But at the same time, the largest bit that can be represented using ones or twos complement scheme, if you omit the sign convention, it will be 2 raised to 16 minus 1, which will be 65535. Or if you use the sign convention, then it is 2 raised to 15 minus 1. So that is sign. If you are representing a signed number, it will be 32767. So anyway, instead of this value using BCD, we can represent only this much. So first disadvantage is that BCD requires or uses too much space, And also when we are considering the binary arithmetic, it is addition and subtraction of binary numbers, this BCD representation will be a tedious one when compared to the other representation. So this BCD representation is seldom used. Now we have to discuss about the representation. We have completed the representation of integers. Now we have to consider the representation of real numbers. How we can represent the real number? A real number is a number which has two parts, that is integer part and a fractional part. So if you consider any number which will have in a decimal, suppose if you consider this number 13.5 minus 114.68 etc., represent a real number in a decimal number system, and here this 13 represents the integer part and 0.5 is the fractional part, and this point is called a decimal point. Now if you come to the binary number system, if you consider 110.101 or 1100.1.001, these are the binary real numbers. Here this part is the integer part, and this part is the fractional part, and this point is called a binary point. So now we have to discuss how we can convert a real number into an decimal number and a decimal real number into a binary number. First of all, we will consider the binary to decimal conversion. For that, suppose consider the binary number 110111, which is a binary number. Now we will use this same method which we have followed in the previous case for integers. That is, we will determine the weight of each digit or each bit in the number and represent it in terms of its base. And you know that here if you consider this number, that is the first number before the decimal point, that is 1, which is having a weight of 2 raised to 0, plus then that next number will have a weight of 2 raised to 1, and the next number will have a weight of 2 raised to 2, and the next number will have a weight of 2 raised to 3. Then this one will have the numbers coming after the binary point will have will actually represent the number of halves and quarters and etc. So this one will having, that is the number just come after the binary point will have a weight of 2 raised to minus 1, and the next number will have a weight of 2 raised to minus 2, and so on. So now we will expand this one, that we will get it as 1 plus 0 plus 4 plus 8 plus this 1 by 2, that is 0.5 plus 0.25, 1 by 4 is 0.25. So what we will get is 13.75. So that is the corresponding decimal number. So this is the way we are converting a binary number to a decimal number. To convert the number, we have to consider the weight of each bit in the number and represent it in terms of the base, and the digits before the point, that is left of the binary point, will have weights in the powers of 2, that is positive powers of the base 2, and the points which the bits which comes after the binary point or the fractional part will have a weight of negative powers of the base 2, then expand it in the result and we will get the corresponding decimal number. Now we have to discuss about the decimal to binary conversion. So here the integer part of the decimal number is converted into binary in the same way as we had discussed for the integers, that is repeatedly divide it by 2 and note down the reminders in each division and arrange the reminders in the reverse order. That will give the binary equivalent of the corresponding integer part of the decimal number, and to get the fractional part of the binary number equivalent to the fractional part of the decimal number, what we have to do is we have to multiply it successively by 2 and note down the integer part in that multiplication, and that integer part in the multiplication is arranged in the same order from top to down will give the integer values. For example, if you consider this 0.75 or suppose 625, suppose we want, this is a binary decimal fractional number, we want to convert it into corresponding decimal binary number. For that we have to repeatedly multiply it by 2 and note down the integer part obtained in each multiplication and note down it, and take the fractional part only for the multiplication in each step. That means first step is multiply this 6.625 by 2, the result is 1.25. so here there is an integer part, that is 1, and the fractional part here it is 0.25. so this is the integer part, this is the fractional part obtained, this is the multiplication by 2, and this is the result. Now take the fractional part thus obtained in the first multiplication and multiply that fractional part again by 2, the result is 0.5. Now the integer part is here 0 in the result, and the fractional part is 0.5. Now take this fractional part again to multiply with 2, so what we will get is 1.0. so here the integer part is 1 and the fractional part is 0. so now the fractional part is exhausted, so we can stop our multiplication, and the integer part of the binary number corresponding to this decimal number 0.625 is arrange the integer parts obtained in each multiplication in the same order, that is 101 with binary point. 0.101 is the corresponding binary. So now one problem here arises here is that when we are successively multiplying, some numbers will not terminate. That is, if you consider the number 4, that is suppose the fractional part of a binary decimal number is 0.4. Now I want to convert this 0.4 into the corresponding binary number. For that I have to first multiply it by 2 the result is 0.8, and in this case the integer part is 0, the fractional part is 0.8. Now multiply the fractional part by 2 again, the result is 1.6. In that case the integer part is 1 and the fractional part is 0.6. Now multiply 0.6 by 2, we will get answer 1.2, the integer part is 1 and the fractional part is 0.2. Now multiply it by the fractional part 0.2 by 2, we will get 0.4, and integer part is 0 and the fractional part is 0.4. Multiply this 0.4 again by 2, we will get 0.8, and the integer part is 0, the fractional part is 0.8. Now again multiply the fractional part by 2, we will get 1.6 as the answer, and 1 is the integer part, and 0.6 as the integer fractional part. Now if you multiply 0.6 by 2, we will get 1.2, integer is 1 and the fractional part is 0.2. Now this process will be repeated so that it will not end or terminate. So in that case we can either stop this process until sufficient number of digits has been obtained. So now for the the fractional part 0.4, we can have this binary number in this order, that is 0.0110011, and it is going on, is the binary number. Now to check this accuracy, where we have to truncate it, let's check the accuracy here. Just convert this number into a corresponding binary, that is decimal number, that is we want to convert 0.0110011, which will be equal to, it is actually 0 into 2 raised to minus 1 plus 1 into 2 raised to minus 2 plus 1 into 2 raised to minus 3 plus 0 into 2 raised to minus 4 plus 0 into 2 raised to minus 5 plus 1 into 2 raised to minus 6 plus 1 into 2 raised to minus 7. So this will be equal to, it is actually, this is 0, this is 0, this is 0. It is 1 by 4 plus 1 by 8 plus, this is 16, this is 32, this is 64 plus 128. This value will be 1 by 4 plus 1 by 8 plus 1 by 64 plus 1 by 128, which we will get it as 0.398437. It is not exactly 4, but it is approximately, if you round off from the second digit, so we will get it is 0.4. Now suppose we are terminating the series from here, then the result will be 0.011001. Now if you convert it into the corresponding decimal number, this 1 by 128 has to be deleted from here. So what the answer will be 0.390625. Now if you round off from the first digit, after first digit you will get 0.4. So depending on the number of we are proceeding, we can have better accuracy, but after a sufficient number of data is obtained, we can truncate the series or we can terminate the series. That is the only problem while converting a decimal fractional part into a binary fractional part. So anyway, in order to convert a decimal fractional part into a binary fractional part, what we have to do is that we have to multiply successively, multiply by 2 and note down all the integer parts obtained in each step of multiplication, and arrange the integer part thus obtained in the same order. After the binary point, you will get the corresponding decimal number. So that's all about the real number conversion and their representation. So now we have to discuss about the floating point representations or floating point notations, that we will discuss in the next lecture. Thank you.